The pitch from Acevedo.
Swung on the line down the left field line for a base hit.
Fly ball, gap, right center field. And
Double him up at second.
Luke is going back to the 1-8 track. Get out the right, run and Buster Grandma. It is grand salami time.
Send Seattle to the American League Championship Series for the first time in 24 years.
What is it? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Light the W podcast, episode 181, and we made it to the All-Star break. To the All-Star break. Jeff, we made it through the final game of the first half. It felt like spring training. It was beautiful. We are back, 48-49 at the break. If I told you that on opening day, what would you have said?
I wouldn't have watched as much as I have. It's an easy solution. I wouldn't have watched the stupid baseball team very much.
It is a joke.
Jeff's here on a Sunday night.
First half.
That's how bad things have gotten. We had to come back to talk about this terrible baseball team.
You know, there's been a lot of frustration. There's been a lot of anger. There's been a lot of sadness about this first half, all of which for good reason, and all of which are the reason why we are both here this Sunday evening on episode 181 of the show during draft weekend to discuss this depressing, disastrous, terrible baseball team.
My life, I'm busy. We both got stuff going on. What do we care about the most probably is the silly baseball team. Today, my daughter is 3 years old. She is very clumsy because she's 3 years old. Today, she slipped on the stairs and slowly rolled down the stairs, kind of catching herself, but just continuing to flop down each step. And the only thought I had in my mind was, that's the 2026 Seattle Mariners right there. Slowly falling down the stairs, thinking they can save themselves with no ability, no desire to make real change, no plan of attack, and eventually just collapsing into the All-Star break and hoping that fixes it.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful, Jeff. I couldn't have said it better myself. Between that and the video of the guy getting absolutely yeeted by a bison buffalo animal this morning, the Mariners have made social media a wonderful place. Dan Wilson yeeting the Mariners 8 feet into the air, only for them to suffer major injuries when they hit the All-Star break, aka the ground. We are below 500 at the All-Star break. The worst record since 2020 at the All-Star break. It is an absolute joke.
Unlike my daughter, the Mariners might not be fine. Like, she's totally okay. 2025, a year ago, we were 51-45 at the break. 2024, 52-46. 2023, 45-44. Crazy early All-Star break, but 49-48 at the same point. That 2023 team is the nightmare we are living right now.
It's a joke. It's genuinely a joke. I don't even know what else there is really to say. I think we've covered all the bases in the past 3 months of Mariners baseball, and somehow they keep finding dumber things to do, dumber ways to lose. And Tuesday, Monday, Friday, whatever day that was, it was perfect. It was Randy Arozarena not hustling on a ball 3 days before the All-Star break where he's going to Philadelphia for the All-Star game. It was this team looking lifeless for an entire road trip in the sun in Florida. Nothing. There's nothing left.
He's our best representative right now, and he held up going after a fly ball, and then the next 2 pitches were home runs against us. Maybe don't come into February talking about a World Series that's 9 months away.
Yeah.
It's a long grind of a season. You can't have an in-game mentality in February. It's clearly not good. Going into the 2023 season, I'll never forget the opening day video. It's Scott Service at a whiteboard, erasing a bunch of stuff from the year before, and he writes 2023, and he writes win it all. That's opening day of 2023. That's not the way baseball works. And I know, act like you've been there before. We've never been there. We are losers. We don't have to be, though. We can go get people that know what they're doing. We're allowed to hire people that have done it before. It doesn't have to be us. We don't have to make it up on the fly. We're not good at it.
Never have been good at it. I mean, you talked about this feeling eerily similar to 2023 just a few minutes ago. And I mean, that is what it feels like. It's completely what it feels like. You make the postseason, you break the drought, you build the expectations, you head into 2023 after acquiring some nice pieces and having a team that looks like the roster on paper is really good. And then guys have bad seasons, guys struggle, and 2023 happens and it's a failure.
2023, we have Gino, we have Teoscar Hernandez, we have 3 players that get MVP votes. Julio, JP got votes, Cal got votes. Not kidding, you can look it up. We had 2 players that got Cy Young votes. Luis Castillo came in 5th. We finished 88 and 74. We barely get to 88 wins. The Texas and Houston both get to 90, and Toronto escapes 89. We missed the playoffs by one game. One game. And then the teams that we might have been better than, the Astros and the Rangers, go on to the ALCS, and the Rangers win the whole thing. We cannot let this happen again. We can't do it. There needs to be change.
2023, this was a team that was young. Julio was in his sophomore season. Cal Raleigh was yet to really break out. George Kirby, Logan Gilbert were just beginning their major league careers, getting into it there. And it was like, all right, you have some youth. There's a huge future ahead of you. You have plenty of years ahead of you with this team, with this roster, with this core. And it didn't come together, you know. Seasons didn't come together for guys. They struggled, but it's sophomore slump Julio. He's going to be back in 2024, and he's going to be that guy. Well, here we are in 2026, and this team still plays like it is a bunch of rookies. You can lose, right? You can struggle. You can you can perform below what the expectations were. But you cannot be lifeless, effortless, beliefless. And you, most of all, whether you believe in yourself or not, I honestly don't care. But I need you to work at least 100% each and every single minute of the game, on and off the field. I need you to believe in your teammates, believe in each other. I need you to stay focused. I need you to actually want to play baseball. If you don't want to play baseball, get out. Goodbye.
That's it. It's not a good look that Randy isn't going for that fly ball. It's not a good look that the anchor of this team went 3 feet out of the base paths, got hit by a ball, and Julio's been out for 9 games. I mean, I'm not a guy to like brush off a concussion, but if that's the leader of your team taking a week plus off, and then now he's going to be gone for weeks and weeks because he's tired from the WBC, because he needs to recharge, maybe the guys are okay with that. It's okay if we're winning or floating. 1-5 on the road trip, you know who might have helped with that? Is your best player, Julio Rodriguez, supposed to be.
Look, I love the WBC. I love all of it. I love all of it with the countries. But if you are playing for your country in the World Baseball Classic when you're supposed to be getting ready for an 162-plus game season with the team that pays you however much money, I need you to be ready for those 162-plus games. And each and every one of those guys that went to that WBC, do they seem ready? Not a bit. Cal Raleigh, do you seem ready? No. You look like a bum who spent your entire offseason working on endorsements, advertisements, getting money. And honestly, what a joke. What a joke. You get all these endorsements and then you sit on your ass and look like a dummy at the plate.
By the way, 6-man rotation. We needed one person to step up and save us on this 1-5 road trip. The bullpen comes through today. Logan pitched well yesterday. None of those guys, the other 4 guys, did not come through. Couldn't clutch up. The Marlins got swept by the Guardians today. The second we left town, they stayed home, hosted a mediocre Cleveland team, and got train wrecked. Their 16 out of 18 ended as soon as we left. That could have been us.
It's a disaster. It's a joke. The fans are pissed. The city is pissed. The players are pretty rightfully pissed, but I don't care if the players are pissed, to be honest. Figure out how to perform it. Figure out how to hit. If you can't play this sport with expectations to perform and be a good team, then what are you doing? Why are you here?
Where are the good vibes at on this team? Like, what are
They're
the
in
things
Cincinnati, Jeff. They're in Cincinnati.
What are the things we're looking forward to? A Brian Wu home start. Who comes to the plate and you're like, I'm excited for this at bat? Because it doesn't feel that way right now for anyone.
There are maybe two guys on the lineup. Maybe Cole Young and Dom Canzone. But even those two guys, you think about Canzone, he has some ugly at bats.
Wait, Dan Wilson. I mean, we won today, so like this is gonna be swept under the rug. The pitcher today for the Rays, whose name I didn't write down, had reverse splits all season. He was worse against lefties than righties, but we don't care about that. We only care about what hand he throws with. That's how the lineup is dictated. This team has no creativity. This team has no intelligence. This team is showing like, we are just going to hope this works out. 54% would be amazing, and we're not even close to that. We're under 500.
It's really bad. Scott Service in 2024 was fired in August when the Mariners were 64-64. 500 in August. Right now we're at the All-Star break and we're below 500. After Service was fired, Dan Wilson comes in, he goes 21-13, and they can't even make the postseason with that. This team fails to make changes, fails to make the hard decisions, right? And by the time that they have done it in the past, it's much too late. I'm going to say this one final time. Dan Wilson cannot be the manager of the Seattle Mariners come Friday. He cannot be. If he is, that is a failure by ownership. That is a failure by the front office. That is a failure by Dan Wilson to realize what he's doing to this organization, to this city. And it's a failure by him to not just be able to give it up and quit. Because this team cannot have this any longer. And if their excuse is that they need him on August 3rd or whatever that is for the 50th season celebration, then I'm going to go get those fans in Oakland, have them give me their Sell the Team t-shirts. I'm going to wear them to the ballpark myself because it is a disaster. It is a joke. And that man cannot lead this team to the World Series, let alone the postseason. They went 21-13 after Scott Service was fired, and it wasn't good enough. By the time they make a change this year, it's going to be too late. I don't care how bad the American League is. These teams around them are going to get better. Everyone feels like they are in it. The Minnesota Twins are buying relievers, for F's sake. If the Twins are buying relievers, you think the Rangers aren't? You think the Astros aren't? Shoot, you think the Angels aren't? Like, it's going to be too late. You're going to fail, and 2026 will be the year we remember that. How did it not all come together? How did it not?
The number one thing that I wrote down to talk about today, I wanted to wait until this point, and you've said it. It is unforgivable. It's the one thing that we can't fix it. We have allowed the bad teams hope. It is our fault. We have failed. We have not buried them. There are teams called the Detroit Tigers, the Houston Astros, the Texas Rangers, the Sacramento's out of it, the Minnesota Twins.
Red Sox.
The Red Sox, they believe they are in it because of us. We are the guilty party. The Tampa Bay Rays did their job. There needed to be one more American League juggernaut to give other teams doubt. And it had to be us, and we failed. And it's too late now.
It's a disaster. The Boston Red Sox, who we were like, let's go get Aroldis Chapman. Let's go get Wilson Contreras. They're a half game behind you at the All-Star break. A half game. By the time we're talking next week, this team could be ahead of you. Like, what? How is it possible that I'm sitting here at the All-Star break and we're in this position. It's a joke. It's a failure on all fronts. Everyone involved. I love Jerry Dipoto. I love Justin Hollander. I love this front office, Scott Hunter, what they do with the draft, what they do with developing guys. But if you can't build a major league roster, get the hell out of the city.
A roster that can't compete for 162. We know that they're gonna make a run in August and September, but we blew it. We blew the best opportunity we had. I think it's worth noting some people via text were confused too because we're going to All-Star break. Ryan Divish reported that Hancock's injury came back negative, so it's worth people hearing that. He went 1.2 today, but he got hit in the hand on the first pitch, so he's okay. But still, overall, very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple more negative notes, Jeff. Couple more negative
more as well.
notes.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. I want to talk about 2025. I want to go back in time. And I want to compare it. I want to compare it to 2015, 16, whatever year that was with our football team. All right?
Oh.
We're going to go there. All right? End of 2025, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. 8 outs away from making the World Series for the first time, from winning an American League pennant. You were so close. Should Andres Munoz have been in the game? We can just debate that forever. Should Bizardo not have just thrown a pitch right down the middle? We can debate that forever. Should Brian Wu have stayed in the game? We can. None of that shit matters, to be honest. Whether it's a managerial error, whether it's a player error, whatever it is, you failed. You came so close. You were better than the Blue Jays, and you let them beat you. There were 2 ways that you could have reacted to that. Number 1. You go into the offseason, you work your ass off, you say, how do we not let that happen again? How do we be like the 2004 Boston Red Sox, who then came back and won the World Series, having a blast, playing great baseball? How do we do that? You can use that. Use it to motivate you. Use it as your work ethic. Or you can do what the Mariners have done, and you can let it just crush you. Let it be the thing that is holding you back. Always remembering that. Oh yeah, that failure. Well, we could obviously do that again. Those were the 2 options. You think about Super Bowl 49 with the Seahawks. Should have won back-to-back Super Bowls. That was the moment that the clubhouse broke. That was the moment that Pete Carroll lost all of his ability to coach that team and be able to lead them because they didn't trust in him. They didn't believe in the messages that they were hearing. They didn't believe in each other. What I fear is that the core of this Mariners team is having what happened to the Seahawks happen to them. They don't trust each other. They don't believe in each other. They don't trust what they are hearing. And beyond Dan Wilson being a terrible game manager, if the players don't believe in him, don't believe what he's telling them, don't believe that he can be the guy to take them to the places they want to go, he cannot be the leader of this team. And these players need to have a little bit stronger of a heart and a head on them. Because if you're letting that break you instead of motivate you in baseball, you got bigger problems.
Those Seahawks teams turned on their leader. They were not into Russell Wilson. He got paid. He got a little weird. Julio just took 2 weeks off in the middle of July. Cal sucks. It's a bad. I thought maybe you were going to go with a more fun parallel from the Seahawks, but this one does smell familiar.
It does. And if you want to go with the fun parallel, right? You look at just last year, you're right. You bring in a new head coach. You start to transition to the next era of Seahawks football. They make a couple of savvy moves and they win the Super Bowl. Right? This team is close. But if the core of this team isn't intact, then you got to start to break it up. And I would not be surprised if we start to see some of these guys start to get broken up starting at this deadline. We talked about the starting pitching on Friday's episode. I would not be surprised to see George Kirby, probably not Logan Gilbert, but George Kirby especially, be a guy to get traded, start to change what this clubhouse looks like, start to bring in some new leadership, start to just change the vibes, because it doesn't feel like this team, these players as a cohesive unit are going to be able to do it together. You can talk about the injuries all you want. But if you're not mentally strong enough to be able to push through and be able to trust the next guys in line and be able to trust the people in charge to fill in the rest of this roster, then these are not the guys to do it.
Luke Raley, 400 OPS in June and July. Victor Robles stinks. Weston Wilson, good home run today. Not the guy. Buddy Kennedy, not the guy. It's bad out there.
I mean, and Ben Williamson, not the guy. I mean, we're at the point where fans are begging for Ben Williamson back, who has not been good. He's not been good. I think on Wednesday's episode, I'm gonna look at some of these players and look at their performances in the first half, and some of these guys have not been good enough. But that's not a today issue. A lot of these guys have not been good enough.
Later in the week as well.
Yeah.
How about I wrote down the top stupidest things that I believe the Mariners could do during the All-Star break. So obviously, number one, the thing they should do is fire Dan Wilson.
Yes.
They're not going to do that. Things they could do that would feel good. Make a trade. Get another reliever. Make a big trade even. Like those kind of things like fans want. But we've watched this Mariners team for a long time. Mahal, would you like me to go from most believable to less believable, or which way do you want to go?
Yeah, most to less. Let's do it.
Okay. This is my biggest fear. This is number one. And I'm going Brian Windhorst, the fingers. Like, why? Why did they do this? It really bothered me that we had a different shortstop the last 2 of 3 games. Why did J.P. Crawford play short? Why did he do that? I'm very nervous they're going to send Colt down and during the All-Star break to get him more at-bats against AAA pitching. It is my number one fear. It is the most Mariners thing I've ever heard. I hate it. And they're going to make room for Brendan Donovan coming back or whatever. And they're going to say he's not ready yet. And they're going to stick him down there until September. It's my number one fear.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go off of that quickly. And I think this is, again, something I'll talk about a little bit more on Wednesday. But something that at least we haven't talked about enough and has been swept under the rug, it feels like a little bit, is that J.P. Crawford has not been good this year. On Twitter, there have been the comparisons to Ty France that got DFA'd in the middle of the season. And it's pretty astounding, the comparisons. It's very similar numbers. It's pretty much the same player. He provides no value if he's not hitting any extra base hits, not getting any singles. And I mean, that's who he's been. He has 0 defensive value. He hasn't really had any value with the bat. And if you're telling me you're not going to give Colt Emerson the opportunity to work through some of these struggles in favor of a guy that's not going to be on this team past this year, a guy that's also struggling, it's a joke. It's a joke.
It's if I had to make a prediction right now, that would be my prediction for Friday. Is that JP is our full-time shortstop and Colt is in Tacoma, and I am sick to my stomach about it. I will move on to number 2, my second biggest fear. Bob Nightingale reported that the Mariners are willing to trade Luis Castillo for a relief pitcher and a right-handed bat. Breaking news for those for real Mariners fans. That is hilarious. Good luck with that. My second fear is that instead of being DFA'd, Refsnyder is back on the roster on Friday, back in a platoon with Dominic Canzone. And that's our right-handed bat that we added at the deadline, is Rob Refsnyder.
Don't do that to me, Jeff.
I am like, hey, Jeff, what do you bring to the table? It's 20, 30 years of being a diehard Mariners fan. Nope, not 30, 25. And being like, oh, Jeff knows what will hurt the most on Friday. That was 2 home runs out of there. It's definitely happening.
Speechless.
That's definitely happening.
Don't even put that into the world again.
Number 3, and I don't hate this one as much. Call up Johnny Pereda on Friday and move Cal Raleigh to DH for a bit. I think that'd be a bad move because I think Cal has helped the pitching staff a lot. But boy, is he bad at hitting a baseball right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the worry too there is that, like, this is a guy that needs to focus on what he can do with the bat, right? But there is a point where you're focusing too much on it, and I think catching for him is something that can help him move away from focusing too much on that hitting aspect. And I mean, him and the rest of these guys, right? This All-Star break, I think, comes at a really nice time, actually, because they need to get their mind off of baseball for a couple days, and then they need to be able to tinker and figure some stuff out with their swings so that when the second half rolls around, we can just get going and figure out this team and figure out why this team was such a failure in the first half and just push that out of the way.
It also affects my baby Dominic Kenzone as well. Two of my first three are hurting my favorite child. Number 4, without being asked about it and for no reason at all, either Justin Hollander or Jerry Dipoto in a press conference announced that Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan will not pitch past August 31st to withstand their careers and become starters next year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that one could make sense. Especially Sloan, I think could make sense.
I hate it.
Be really careful with him.
I hate it.
Yep.
But that one at least would make sense.
Yeah.
Number 5. Of all the guys, I think there's a chance that Emerson Hancock just goes on the IL right now because of the hand. Just going to use it as an excuse. That would be annoying. But my bigger fear is that they just move him to the pen because they can't move Castillo. Boy, I'm really knocking you down. I'm hitting you hard with these.
It's just hurting because each and every one of these things, I'm like, no way they would. And then I'm like, oh no, they would do that. They would do that. They would do that.
They would.
That hurts.
I wrote one more and deleted it, but I can still give it to you if you want.
Give it to us, Jeff.
The Mariners trade Randy Arozarena for prospects and declare Cal the winner of the WBC handshake fiasco. Again, unprompted. And they call up Michael Arroyo to play full-time.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
That's number 6.
That is the only one where I'm like, you know what? I don't actually think they would do that one because I have all belief in this front office of, if nothing else, they're going to draft well and they're going to make trades at the deadline that are going to help this team. It's not Paul Sewald again, Jeff. It can't be.
I was thinking about worst case scenario a lot this weekend, and those all 6 of those hurt me pretty bad.
Yeah.
And
those are horrible.
2 of them happening.
I think it's a given Dan Wilson remains manager of this team. And I really, really don't like that. All right. To conclude this episode, Jeff.
Yeah, what else you got?
let's move into the second half. The first half didn't happen. It's opening day again. Brendan Donovan will come back with his hair on fire. Once again. He'll be everything this team needs. He'll be gritty. He'll be annoying to play against. He'll be fun to play with. He'll work his at-bats. He'll knock runners in from scoring position. And this team will figure it all out. Cal Raleigh will have the greatest half season you could ever see from a guy that was that crap for half of a season. Julio Rodriguez will come back, a new man, refreshed, looking like July and August Julio again, and all of a sudden, we make a couple trades at the trade deadline, and this team is the best. What's that? What's that? We're coming back. We're coming back!
Okay, I can do the whole thing.
All right.
Opening day, man. That was our only viral video.
We were so excited. We were so happy that day. What happened?
We were so
What
young.
happened? In all seriousness, though, I do think that there is a possibility that today is a turning point. Sunday here. We're recording this Sunday. Getting a win feels
I don't want to interrupt
so
you.
much
I'm going to
better.
interrupt you. We
Do it.
have to. There's no way. We can't stay here. We either need to get way worse or way better. It has to be a turning point.
Jeff,
Sorry.
we're the Mariners.
Yeah.
We are mediocre forever.
No, we're bad. We've been bad forever.
No, we're mediocre because we're not bad enough to get the draft picks and be able to rebuild. It doesn't happen, except for in 2018.
My bad.
In all seriousness, though, I think that this could be a positive turning point for this team. Winning a game the way they did today, where you go through Emerson Hancock coming out of the game after an inning and 2/3 and having your bullpen be able to shut it down and your offense scoring a bunch of runs. Like, that changes a lot of these, well, changes some of the vibes going into the break, right? It leaves you on a little bit of a higher note. It's like, all right, yeah, this team has shown they can do it through bits and pieces, through games of this season. And it's just about putting some stuff together. You're going to get some of these guys back from injury. You're going to make additions at the trade deadline, right? Like, this team, I've said it numerous times, has all of the talent, all of the ability to be the best team in the American League. Just got to put some of these things together. And it really feels like there's a possibility that these 3-4 days off, give them that freedom, give them that ability to just relax, get your mind off of it, go to the bowling alley, play bowling, whatever it is, go to the arcade, get your mind off baseball for a minute, fix your swing a little bit. Here we are, come back on Friday, we get to play the fucking Giants. Maybe we trade for a Giant that we probably shouldn't trade for, who knows? And then we come back in the second half, a new team, the team we've all been waiting for to show up. How beautiful it would be.
Yeah, sign me up. That sounds great.
I'm ready for it. Last notes, Jeff. Let's do it. Jeff and I will be back on Friday's episode. I'll be back Wednesday. We'll talk a little bit about trades on Wednesday, as well as some of these guys from the first half and what they did and didn't do well. Till then, though, as always, go M's, get your mind off baseball for a few days, and peace.